Hi. The neighbor said hi. I'm early, and I know, but I was nervous about whether it would start or not when you have a scheduled live stream coming up and you're sitting there waiting to push the button and you're like, please, please, please start like you're supposed to. Because if things don't go right when you first start, hey Jimmy, guess what, dude? I'm at the lake this time. You're probably, knowing you're probably at the lake sometime today. Somewhere that there's some fish would be my guess. Maybe just hanging out if you're traveling for work, maybe you're just hanging out in the hotel room watching football. I don't know. I started early because I was saying sometimes I get really nervous when it's about time for, hey Jeff, good morning. And Jeff would know, both of y'all probably know this, when you're going to live stream and you push the button, if it's scheduled and you told people, hey, I'm going to live stream at this time, and things go haywire and it doesn't come up like it's supposed to. Hi, Fitness King. Nice to see you. I'm just going to wait just a couple of minutes, let folks get in before I start walking around. I'm sitting at the picnic table in front of my cabin here. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday. And if you have as beautiful a weather or anything close to it as I have here, it's a good day. It's a good start to the day. We got NFL football on today, and just it's looking good. Good start to the day. Okay, let's see. It's 11:01. I'm going to get started here pretty soon. I'm just going to walk around here, the Marina and the park. So, yeah, I think we can get started. That's good. Thank you all for coming. And let me flip my camera around here. Oh, the gimbal controls don't all work when you're live streaming. I forgot. There we go. All right, there's my neighbor's cabin. She just walked by and said hi to me. To be very nice people. And there's my cabin. I made a little video showing that yesterday. One thing that I started to say in a mid-sentence, I got interrupted by, they were hollering at some kids down by the lake that they need to come look at these boats over here or something, and it kind of threw my train of thought off. But these cabins, when it flooded, we were supposed to be here a couple of months ago, or whenever it was, earlier in the year, friends and I, to meet here and go fishing, and it flooded. This is Lake Texoma, and it's on the Red River, and there was floodwaters coming down the Red River, and all of these cabins had to be moved. And they're skirted, so you can't see under there. But I drove around the park earlier this morning. I saw some that they don't have set back up, and they're like little mobile homes, sort of. They got axles and wheels under there. So this area where I'm standing was flooded, but they hook onto these cabins and pull them up to high ground. And then after the flooding goes down and things dry out, they bring them back down here. So they were prepared, or they would have all been destroyed. I guess they just know it's going to happen periodically. Let's see, let's start down here. I'll try to keep up with the chat here today. Is your whole group staying in the cabins by the lake? No. There was some concern that the cabins might be damaged or something, or I don't know. I'm not sure what the concerns were, but most of them are staying at the casino about 20 minutes away, back in the town of Durant, Oklahoma. And I got to thinking about it. I looked online. I saw the cabins were for rent, and I just had trust that they wouldn't rent them unless they were inhabitable, unless it was safe to stay in them. So I booked a cabin because if I'm going to go stay a few days at the lake, I want to be on the lake. Not even though there's a casino there, and I'm not really big into the casino scene these days. I have before. I've played my share of blackjack and pulled the one-armed bandit handles and all the stuff, but it just doesn't do much for me anymore. And just being 20 minutes away from the lake or more, I'm not sure exactly how far it is time-wise. I think it's 17 and a half miles. That just didn't seem like something I wanted to do, to go to the lake and be that far away. So I booked a cabin. I may be the only one that's staying here at the lake, and that's okay. We're gonna meet up. We have a charter captain, a fishing guide set up, and we'll know where to go to meet him and get on the boat and go fishing. That's Monday. Yeah, it's the Coshada tribe. Oh, is it Choctaw? Okay, Choctaw. Yeah, I think they're staying at the Choctaw Casino. Some kid left their life jacket down here. There was kids playing down here and people fishing from down here well into the night. And it's pretty cool. It was dead calm yesterday. This lake was slick as glass. And if you see over there, you may say, well, that's not a very big lake. I can see the other bank. We're up in a cove here. The big part of the lake is over there, back that way. This is a huge lake. It's right on the Red River. And hi, Chris. Nice to see you. Glad to see you come in. Try it on. I think it's a little small for me. I tell you what, that water is inviting though, because it's already up into the it's low 80s right now. It's going to get up into the mid 80s. Just very comfortable, especially with this breeze. This looks to me like there's got to be fish out there. I can picture myself, and Jimmy would know this, just the desire to throw a lure out there, pull it back in, and hook up with a big old bass and pull him into these rocks. Yeah, so we got some sandy beach and some rocks here. Let's move on. There's the cabins. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I think all together, when they're all set up, there's some up on the hill, up on the high ground, that they haven't put back in place yet. But it looks to me like they have like 25 to 35 or 40 cabins, I don't know, a lot, that are scattered around this park. And my intent when I scheduled this live stream was to walk, make a loop and walk around the whole park, because I did know, generally speaking, looking at the map, that there's a road that loops around the whole thing. This resort is what they call it. It's Willow Springs, Marina, and Resort. And so I drove that this morning, like doing recon, a little scouting. Hey Anthony, nice to see you. Hope things are going well in Colorado. Right before I came on, I was just listening to a live stream from Colorado, Nature Dog Roams. But she's not out exploring today. She's sitting at the table. But a lot of good folks in there. Oh, look. I don't know, those aren't buzzards. I think those are those cormorants, is that right? There's a bunch of them. Wonder why they're all congregated over here. I don't know how close they'll let me get before they fly. Not very. They're already starting to get nervous. And this is like so sandy. It's like walking on a sandy beach through here. We'll make a little loop right over there. There's the Marina, a boat dock, boat rental slips. What do we call it? Boat slips. There we go. Made them all move. Y'all need to go get some exercise anyway. Yeah, this is nice. If you had kids or something and wanted to come out here and play, and just by the nature of it, I think somebody said it looked like it would be a great place to swim. And I think this probably does have a pretty gentle slope going out. I don't know if those are crows or not. I think I'm not sure. I'm not a good plant, tree, or bird identifier. How close is it to pick up essentials? There's a store, well, at the entrance of the park, they have kind of some basic stuff, you know, sodas and ice and candy bars and chips and whatnot, like a mini convenience store sort of thing. But to get to a store is about 8 or 10 minutes. And by essentials, Jeff, I think you meant beer. I brought enough with me to last me a day or two. If we run out, the thing is, you got to take inventory before you have a couple of beers, because it would be bad if you can't drive to go get some more, right? I'm good though, and I'm at the lake. I don't need to. Let's see, I'm pretty sure. Flying squirrels. Okay. I'll have to watch the replay, Jimmy, maybe to confirm that. Kids like to swim there apparently with a life jacket. Yeah, I hope the kid took it off on the bank and not out in the lake. Yep, beer, snacks, food, gas. I have beer and frozen burritos. No, I got sandwich stuff and some chips. I'm not worried too. I'm kind of suspending my diet, my no carbs thing in a way. Not going crazy, but I did have for breakfast I had a beef and bean burrito heated up in the microwave. There's a really nice family-owned, like country kitchen style cafe up on the highway. I read the reviews, and I intended to get up this morning and go there and have some bacon and eggs and biscuits and all the whole thing, and I just didn't feel like it. It's called the Mead Family Restaurant, I think, or Mead Family Cafe, and I just enjoyed hanging out at the cabin and watching the Broncos and Jets. Tighter game than I thought it would be, and didn't feel like going anywhere other than a short little drive around the park. To get back to that, I'm not going to walk around this whole thing. It's too big. I can't walk that far. And a lot of it is over on the back side. It's like the woods, and I don't know, it's just, we're going to do what we do. And I checked it out. I think there's 5 or 6 of these big sections of the boat slips. But you can't go like explore and walk through there and look at the boats, and that's a good thing. Nobody wants to rent a boat slip and not have it be secure. So, you know, they got locked gates. You have to have the code to get into that, and as a renter, to have your own place, because people want to leave their stuff on their boats, of course, right? Their life jackets and anchors and fishing tackle and all their stuff. You wouldn't want to have to carry everything from your boat back to your vehicle every time. They want it secured, so I can't go out there. I'd love to go look at all the boats, but no can do. So I'm going to zoom in. This place is pretty cool. If you go to their website, you'll see that they have this, it's like a water park, a floating water park. I think probably because of the flood at the website, it says bigger and better, or can't wait to do this in 26. They've got a lot of the pieces stored over there. It's like giant slides and those bouncy things and all that. And when it's all set up in a whole bunch of the connecting pieces and the tunnel, the tubes and all, by tubes, I mean like the enclosed slide, you know, spiraling around. They're up here on land. They're like the plastic type stuff. But that's inflatable stuff, and they set up this like little water park out in the cove adjoining the marina. And I bet that's pretty cool. I take it by what Jeff said that Anthony had to go. Thank you for coming in, Anthony. And somebody mentioned Ann. If Ann's here, thank you, Ann, for coming. Oh, good morning, Troy. Oh, Troy's here. Cool. Adventure America. Thank you for coming, Troy. And Angela, if you're here, awesome. Just to review right quick, I'm at Lake Texoma, and I'm at the Willow Springs Marina and Resort. I rented a cabin here. I think most of our group is staying at the casino about 20 minutes away or something like that. And but I wanted to be at the lake. That's what I was saying early on. If I'm going to go to the lake and hang out for a few days, I want to be at the lake. And my cabin is right over there, and I'm about, I don't know, 75, 100 feet from the sandy beach, water's edge. I love it. My cabin's really nice, and it's got those, I forget what they're called. There's like an individual air conditioner mounted up on the wall in the main room and in the bedroom. And they were set on 70 degrees when I got here yesterday. And I had turned it up to set both of them up to 72, and then to 74, and then to 76. I was cold. These things, the cabin's pretty small, you know. It's probably about 400 or 500 square foot total. It's plenty. I mean, it's a cabin. There's another whole section of boat stalls, boat slips. There's another one. There's more over here. I'm going to show you something here in a minute. I guess this is like the maintenance shed. I need to start remembering when I zoom into something, I need to zoom back out before I get started. I'm fairly new to this live streaming. Some of you guys are like seasoned veterans. 25 people in here, that's amazing. I think that's a record for me, y'all. I appreciate that very much. And I don't know, I have nothing spectacular to show you, but it is a marina and we are at the lake, so I figured why not? I'll live stream for a while before the Dallas Cowboys come on, playing the Carolina Panthers today. Go Cowboys. So we got 1, 2, 3 more sections of boat slips here. And I don't know about here, I can't speak to it, but I'm sure it's pretty close. At the marina on Lake Somerville, I think the smaller ones are like 75 a month, and the big ones are 100, something like that, a month to keep your boat there. So you can see that's a pretty good revenue generator. There's a lot of boats here, and like at Lake Somerville, where I live, there's dozens of people on the waiting list for a boat slip. And see if there's any questions. Hi, Flames of War. I don't think I've met you, but I'm glad to, and I appreciate you coming in. So here's my thoughts on things. I got to do a couple of things. Flames of War, I'm going to make you a moderator. And I just learned something very recently. I learned it from Mary's Gigs, I think maybe Chris told me that. No, it was Chris from Aries World. Learned a lot from him too. And that's the difference in mods. So Jeff at Calvin the Boston Terrorist, since you were on the screen easily, I'm removing you as a standard moderator. Jeff, you are no longer a standard moderator. And I'm going to add Jeff, and now he is a managing moderator. So here's the deal. The people you know best, that you've known the longest, that you truly trust to kind of oversee things. Chris, I just removed you as a standard moderator. And not that there aren't a bunch of you that I would do this to, but I learned, just for now, I made a couple of people managing moderators, and I learned that here's why you do that if you're a live streamer. Because if you make somebody a moderator and you're just trusting them until they prove, which is the way I look at it. I trust somebody to be a mod so that they can jump over and check out other people's channels and connect and all the stuff, right? And if they act up, I learned the problem is, other standard moderators can't block them or boot them or whatever the term is. A managing moderator can. So, yeah, you get it. You understand. I didn't mean to go on about that so much. So, I don't know. This is just boat slips that we can't go down and look at. A lot of places like this, they will have one big section where you can go out and like to fish and stuff that you have access to. But apparently this marina doesn't. That's okay. There's plenty of bank to fish on around here. What do we want to do? You know what? I hate to do this. I'm going to retrace my steps. I'm going to make it fast. I'm going to kind of go a different way. I could walk, kind of loop around and go on down that road and loop around. It would take a pretty good bit. I'm going to try to make it shorter. It's a beautiful day though. We have I would call it a gentle breeze. It's probably maybe blowing about 5 or 8 miles an hour. I hope the weather's like this on Monday when we go fishing. Oh, Flames of War. I thought I made you. Did it work? Yes, Flames of War. You're now a standard moderator. Okay, I'm just trying to read the chat, seeing I think I might learn something more. So I started this a little early, Chris, and that's because of you too. Because I get nervous after you explain that you figured out that the problem you were having launching your live streams was if you waited until after it got to be that point in time. And if you started a few seconds, as long as you started it before, even if it was just a few seconds, smooth as could be. So I said, you know what? I'm not waiting till it's straight up 11 o'clock. At 10:59, I'm pushing the button. A minute or two early, yeah, because it doesn't hurt anything. Especially if you talk or say something where on the replay it won't just be a wall with no audio. Yeah, see, these are on high ground, so I don't think they had any worries about them flooding. Yeah, I thought at first that maybe this is where they moved them because the skirting is gone. Maybe they're going to leave them here, but it looks like they are hooked up. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But they got a lot of cabins, and up here you're going to see there are people apparently that are able to long-term lease or buy the property or something, because there are permanently set up mobile homes here, which would be cool. Like if you lived in Durant or anywhere. And, you know, this could be this. I'm sure these are some people's lake houses for getaways. And to me, that would be really smart to have something like that, because you could Airbnb it, or maybe the marina will rent these out to you. I don't know. They have boat rentals here. Can't remember the name of it. They're like pontoon boats, but they're not called pontoon boats. They're called tripoons, I think. They have three of the runners, the floating things underneath the deck of the deck boat. It's pretty expensive. I think it's $750 for 11 hours, but you can rent one for like 2 hours. I think it's $150 or $200 for a couple of hours. Up to 13 people, I think, can get on those, and it comes fully supplied with all the safety equipment that you need and all that. Okay, see, they have permanent places here. gotten away from the lake, but you saw the lake. I went the other way from my cabin, and that's what I originally intended to do, was go over to the marina, to the boat where the boat slips are, and start walking toward my cabin and keep going all the way to the boat launch, the boat ramp. And I walked down there, I drove down there today. It's a pretty fur piece. I could walk it, but there's a lot of trucks and boat trailers. So there's a bunch of people launched there this morning and went fishing. Right now I'm just going for a walk, getting some steps in. There's what I was talking about. See all those pieces? I think that's pieces of the water park on water, whatever, parts of the slides and everything. I bet that's an interesting project to put that all together when it comes time, because you're out on the water trying to construct this thing. Hey, Barry, somebody, I haven't seen you, Barry, but I see people saying hi and talking to you. Thank you for coming, sir. And some of y'all, you may realize, I've not been in my normal routine, of course. I went to Shreveport, went to the dirt car races Friday night, and yesterday I got up and drove and made my way, not in any hurry, taking my time to stop and smell the roses, whatever, see the sights. Made a stop in Paris, Texas, and shot some video, some cool things in Paris, Texas. One of them I'll tell you, and I walked a ways of it. They have a thing there called the Trail de Paris. It's a walking trail, and that's cool. So Paris, Texas, I guess has a relationship, or it's like a sister city to Paris, France, something like that. So they have a miniature, scaled Eiffel Tower in the park there. And no, I don't think they speak. Some people speak French in Paris, Texas. I did. I probably said we at least once while I was in Paris. There you go. There's more pieces of that. The fun park that goes out on the water. Putting all that together out on the water has got to be something else. So anyway, the Trail de Paris, it connects to the NETT, N-E-T-T, and that is the Northeast Texas Trail, and that walking trail is 133 miles long. And you may ask, why? How did they do that? How can there be a trail across Texas 133 miles long? Well, it makes sense. It's abandoned or no longer used railroad tracks, a chaparral. And
hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
I'm afraid in that building I would lose the connection. This is the office, and I don't want to lose my live streams. I'm not going in there, but yeah, check out the rock this is made out of. And I'll probably be back up here later to get me some more ice. And I was a little concerned. My one concern is I want to watch football. I wanted to stream the car race last night. It was 50,000 to win. It was the second night of the event I went to, Friday night. And my guy Turbo finished 16th, I believe, Friday night. And he finished, I think, 8th last night. So much better. And I wanted to be able to stream that. So I was concerned about the internet speed. There's the road that if I had continued on up, I probably should have just kept going. It would have been actually closer. Oh well. Well, there's the office, the entry. I think they're there till, it says 6 p.m. at the website. But when they called me yesterday about checking in, about where I needed to go, what I needed to do, they said somebody will be here until 8. And they're there 7 days a week. And for security up there, where you come in the gate, what they do, I think it's at 11 p.m., the gates are closed. On one side, there's the thing with the spikes, that the spikes, you can drive across one way, but not the other. If you try to come in across that at night, that will blow your tires out. And the lady, when I checked in, was telling me, Amy, really nice lady, she said it happens all the time. She said sometimes it seems like almost every weekend somebody tries to come in late and they don't have a fob. When you get your key to your cabin, it has a fob on it. And you wave that in front of the panel and it'll open the gate anytime. But for security, they shut the gate at 11 o'clock at night. People can exit, but to come in, you got to have a fob. And you can't fix stupid. People still try it. And there's a huge sign, do not go this way or it will blow your tires out. Donnie's here. Hey, Donnie. Nice to see you. Doing a walk around at the Lake Texoma, where friends and I are going striper fishing Monday with the fishing guide. And from my understanding, at last word, because of the flooding they had here recently, how that affected the fish, for some reason, you can catch striper, and plenty of them, out in the lake. But they're relatively small compared to what they're used to catching here. However, the guides have discovered, and when you do that for a living, they learn things over time. They're fishing in the Red River downstream of the lake, just past the outfall of the dam, and catching big fish. And that's the best fishing right now. So if that hasn't changed since we talked to the guide a couple of weeks ago, we won't actually be fishing in the lake. We'll be fishing in the river. And the cool thing about this lake is these are actually striped bass that reproduce in this lake. And it's one, I think, of only 2 where that happens. And the reason is you have to have a certain amount of salinity in the water for them to be like in a fully natural environment and be able to spawn and reproduce. Now, there are other lakes across Texas and the United States, I don't know where all, that have stripers. But they're stocked. In a purely freshwater lake, they won't reproduce, which I found interesting. Why here? Because upstream, along the Red River, there are rock formations that have high salt content. So the erosion of that puts just enough salt into the water that feeds into Lake Texoma that it is perfect for striped bass. And there is sometimes confusion between there are hybrid stripers, which are a cross between a striped bass, and God, what is it? Somebody looked that up for me. I forgot. It's another kind of bass that they crossbreeds with a stripe. They get hybrid stripers. I can't remember. I don't think it's a crappie. I don't think it's a white bass. I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. Who won last night? Did Auburn win that game? I think it was Auburn and Georgia. Yeah, speed limit 20. I'm safe, Jeff. I'm getting my steps in. I'm gonna head back down to the lake because some people came in late and haven't even seen really the water. I'm up in a cove, and I'm sure glad I brought my fuzzy windshield. The wind has picked up a good bit just since I started, and it feels good. There's what it looks like to me at some point was a floating dock that has been pulled off the water, or maybe a new one that they're going to put back in. Maybe it was damaged by the flooding. I don't know. They had major flooding. There was where we are right here. There was water up in here, and they pulled all their equipment out of here, and moved the cabins. They take the skirting off, they got a tongue on them, they hook them up and pull them up to high ground. She said up at the front of the property they have a field that doesn't flood. So this is also an RV park. So they have permanent homes here of some sort. I don't know whether they're rentals or people own them. It's RV park. They have cabins. They have tons along the lake. If we go around the other side, there are lots of day use areas like picnic tables and grills and stuff like that. Barry, that's very smart, because nothing can come of it. Getting caught, blaming the referees and getting all angry because your team, stress is bad for you. And I've tried to learn, or always remember, don't stress things that you can't change, you have no control over. There's some witty sayings that I can never have the recall to quote, but it's about don't worry about the things concentrate on the things that you have control over, and mostly that's your own behavior, right? Zero to 6 and 4 to 2. 4 and 2, I guess, I don't know what that is, Jeff. I guess I missed some chat. Yeah, throwing rage at the TV. There are people that have broken their own big screen TVs, but thrown things into their TV and busted the screen up because something bad happened to their team. How stupid can you be? That's somebody that lacks self-discipline or control of their emotions. I think that's like in need of therapy when you do that. I've been really disappointed before and sad, and I was upset, like Dez Bryant, the catch against Green Bay. That when they had those new rules about you had to complete the catch and make a football move and all that stuff. Well, every Dallas Cowboy fan and anybody with the brain will tell you that was a catch. Oh, I was so upset because I truly believe if they had counted that and the Cowboys scored that touchdown, that they would have gone on and won the Super Bowl. I firmly believe that in my heart. I think they were the better team, but it did not affect. Let me tell you I'll tell you another story. Let's see how old I would have been. I think it was in 1971, Super Bowl V. So I would have been 11 years old. And I'm watching the game. It's the Baltimore Colts. Yep, the Colts were still in Baltimore. And they played Dallas in the Super Bowl. And it was the first time Dallas had made the Super Bowl. And back then, the Cowboys hadn't won any championships. They had lost the last 2 NFL championships to the Green Bay Packers before the merger, and in heartbreaking fashion. And they were known as always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Hi, Sock Monkey. I hope you're traveling safely and having a good day. It's beautiful at the lake. There's a jet boat. Let's see. Somebody out having fun on the lake. We're going back toward the lake. Gonna walk the bank. Okay, where was I? Cowboys and Colts. And the Cowboys were always close, but just couldn't quite get there. And I just knew that was the year. And I think it's still the only Super Bowl that a player from the losing team won the Super Bowl MVP award. I think that may have been Chuck Howley. I'm really testing my memory now. But the Colts kicked a field goal in the last few seconds and won. I think it was 16-13. And I was 11 years old, and I got up and I ran out in the backyard, and sat at a picnic table, and I did that because I didn't want my daddy to see me cry. My dad was he was a tough guy. He did not, he believed he had to be strong, and he roped calves once with his leg was swollen like twice normal size, and he still was out rodeoing, and I didn't want him to see me cry, and I had tears rolling down my cheeks. I was so sad, and my dad came out and talked to me, and his reaction was not what I expected. And he comforted me and told me it's okay, we'll get them next time, tried to cheer me up. I felt so much better, not as much because of the game, but because of how my dad was treating me and reacted. He wasn't embarrassed because I was crying or telling me, you better not be crying, or stuff like that. That was not at all. So that's a pretty cool memory for me. Another cool memory is the next year, the Cowboys won the Super Bowl when they trounced the Dolphins. I think it was 24-3. So this is interesting here. So the crags, the way the water has eroded this. And while I'm live streaming, I'm going to try not to step off in this. And so the Colts beat the Cowboys, and then the Cowboys won their first Super Bowl. That would be Super Bowl 6, beat the Dolphins, and the next year is the year that the Dolphins went undefeated all the way through the Super Bowl. So NFL history. See, I have short-term memory loss, not long-term memory loss. I can remember better things that happened in 1973 than I can things that happened in 2023. Oh, look at that over there. I'm not sure what that is. I don't see cars. I'm going to zoom in. There's no vehicle traffic there, so that's got to be rail. I think that must be a train crossing, or else I would be able to see cars. It's either abandoned or something that's not being used, or it's a train crossing, I guess. I don't know. Might have to go explore that. Check it out. Okay. Is fishing and cooking with Jose here? That dude, I like that dude. He's cool. Hi, fishing and cooking with Jose. Hi, Jose. Thank you so much for coming in. And I've been walking around trying not to fall or fall in the lake, whatever. I'm trying to watch my step. I'm trying as best I can to keep an eye on the chat. If I missed anybody that's here, I'm really sorry about that. If you say something, I'll try to catch it now. So, and the wind is just steady picking up. And let's see, tomorrow, we go fishing tomorrow. I hope that doesn't happen, or at least get any worse than this tomorrow. Probably won't matter if we are fishing in the river. If we're out in the open water on the lake, it certainly does matter. So there's a whole bunch of these. They got a fire ring down there, and picnic tables, and let's see, Cowboys speaking of the Dallas Cowboys, they kick off in about 18 minutes. Well, they never start exactly at the top of the hour, but Carolina is not as bad, I guess, as we think of them being, as they've been in past years. I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park. Never take anybody for granted. I don't know. Somebody update me. What's the score of Denver and the Jets? Is that over? The last I saw of it, it was close. I think Denver was up 10-6, 10-9. Last time I saw it was 10-9 Denver. One thing I thought that I start talking about something and I get sidetracked, or something comes up, I get distracted, and I never get back to it. I had called ahead of time because I wanted to watch the racing, and I wanted to be able to watch football on Sunday. So I asked the lady about the internet speed, the wireless, and the television. And she says, how does fiber optic sound? 13 to 11. See what I mean? That was tight. So I have awesome. I was able to stream the race last night, and no problem. I got great TV. I'm watching TV on YouTube TV, which is exactly what I have at home. See, there's a lot of folks out here fishing today. I don't see any boat. Yeah, I do. There's some boats fishing in this cove here. This is what I was talking about. If I had walked this way and we turn and go down that road, it goes up there for, I don't know, more than a long ways to get up to the front of the park by the gate. It makes a loop. There's a road all the way around the whole park. That dude, I believe, is a professional fisherman with sponsors, and he has his sponsors plastered all over his truck. And his name is Dax Davis. I bet you could look him. Oh, maybe Dax Davis is the AR Tactical Solutions. I don't know. But here's his sponsors. Burning Stump Guide Service. I bet that's the guy that owns the truck. Bet he's a pro fisherman with sponsors and a guide. That would make perfect sense. I wish I had sponsors. Hey, I'm showing y'all stuff, people. Slicks, give me a ring. We need to talk. I need a sponsorship. Yeah, I bet his boat's got all the same stuff on it. And Skeeter boats. We used to have a Skeeter bass boat. It was my dad's, but I could use it whenever I wanted. Okay, I was gonna walk down to the boat ramp, but it's just a boat ramp. I don't see the point in doing that. What do we need to do? I was gonna live stream for an hour, but I don't want to show boring stuff. Let's go over here. I'm gonna get down by the water's edge and walk along the bank. There's a really neat looking area right over there. I'm gonna go check that out. Check that out for Jimmy. He might want to come up here and fish. I don't think you'd want to have your kayak out in the middle of that right now, Jimmy. We got whitecaps. But up in the cove, Jimmy used to just fish from the bank, and he recently got him a kayak. It's pretty cool too. You get out on the water and you can fish a whole different way when you got. It says hello, Todd, and everybody. Hi, Minnow. Hope you're enjoying the day, enjoying your trip. Let's see. I don't know if this is the Cragged Edge, or if we got Sandy Beach here. Oh, we could get down there easily. No problem. I'm seeing right down there at the water's edge. Oh, I thought that might be rock, but I think that's just mud where the water has worn like grooves into that. Yeah. Okay. The water looks nice out there. This lake is huge. And there's no way you could stand on any bank and like show, okay, there's the lake. It's not like that because it's long. It's pretty wide in a lot of places, but since it's along the river, a dammed up river, of course, it has a lot of length to it. And man, y'all are doing me all the good. Keep giving me a reason to keep going on the live stream, because I am definitely getting steps in. Let me see. Oh, I was gonna look at my Fitbit. I didn't set it to like measure this. Oh, I did. Apparently I did. 1.35 miles. Wow, is that right? I'm trying to hit resume. There we go. Yep, it says 1.35 miles. Awesome. So my typical standard walk that I try to do 2 or 3 times a day is 1 mile. So pushing the limits now, and I can feel it because my feet are getting semi-numb. As most of you probably know, I have only about 40% of normal blood flow to my legs due to arterial blockage, and that's what I'm trying to do, is avoid getting any more. And tests over the last 2 years have shown that I am accomplishing that goal, and I'm very happy about that. So this is where I was talking about. That looks so fishy. It looked more fishy this morning when it was really calm and the water was still over here. And I don't know why, but for some reason this reminds me of Gilligan's Island. Lake Texoma. Yes, this is Lake Texoma. It's Texas to the south and Oklahoma to the north. I wonder if you catch a fish, how do you tell, is that a Texas fish or is that an Oklahoma fish? Where was it born? And are the Texas fish bigger? You know what they say. I don't know. And so, I don't know, is that a willow tree? Every time I see a tree similar like this by the water, I say, I wish Kevin was here hiking with Jackie Boy. He could tell me. That's pretty gnarly. I wonder if that got struck by lightning or somebody set it on fire. That one's burnt out. Y'all want me to climb up there, climb out over the water and get a good shot? I don't think so. That's the thing, like when you're 12, 14 years old, you're out there. I mean, not with a camera, not live streaming, just climb it to climb it because it looks like fun. I don't think it's deep enough out there to do a swing or anything like that. No. I'm looking forward to going out fishing tomorrow though. Of course, a day out fishing is always fun, but it's made a lot more fun if you catch fish. So hopefully we'll have some good luck. And I tell you what, y'all, I have to make an executive decision. I'm gonna continue for 9 more minutes. I'm gonna go the hour I planned on. But I'm a long ways from my cabin. I just thought about that. Oh my goodness. And I'm gonna have to stop at some point. The next picnic table I get to, I'm gonna stop and rest a little bit and let my blood flow catch up. Here's the deal. It only takes, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes and I'm good to go again for another mile and a half, no problem. Or even like at the park that day, when I walked 3 miles, my feet were completely numb. Have to go, guys. Thank you, Donnie. Thank you for coming in. Hope you and Kathy and Eden have a wonderful Sunday, my friend. You take care. And look forward to seeing you in San Antonio soon. That is not far away. About 9 days, I guess. Is that right? Something like that. No, yesterday was October the 11th. That was my wife's birthday. Sarah, my daughter's birthday, was October the 9th. Her sister Lauren came to see her, and we got this cake for her, and it was 3 cakes in one: a cheesecake and some kind of caramel. I don't know. It sounded delicious by the description, but just in case, this was a pretty good size, like normal size round cake. Thank you very much, Anthony. My wife died in December 23rd, 2015. So this year will be 10 years at Christmas. But anyway, on the cake, just to be safe, we got a small chocolate cake, and in case that other one was like, oh, error. And what we did, we got her like the candles that are a number. She turned 29, so we got her a 2 and put it on the big cake, and a 2 and put it on the little cake, and the 9 on the big cake. And it was just her sister and I, but we sang happy birthday to her. And yeah, it was nice. Got to do that before I left. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. My wife's name was Deborah, and she preferred to be called Deborah, not Debbie, by everybody except her sister, Lisa. Lisa got to call her Debbie, and they were quite a pair. We're back at the boat launch thing. Where is that picnic table? It's right over there. That's my destination. And I got 5 minutes here. I try to find something a little interesting. I'm not just saying, hey, stay for 5 minutes because I need the watch hours or anything like that. I'm not worried about that. I wonder what those are. Those round tin things. They have to be protection for something. I don't know. Curious about that tower too. Oh, I see. It has a light on top. I wonder if that's sort of like a lighthouse in a way, to keep so boats will have a reference point. Like if you come in at night, it guides you into the marina, lets you know the general direction or something. I mean, I don't know. I'm just guessing, but there is a light on top of that. And that would make sense to me. You got a box down here for, I guess, all the circuitry, the electrical, whatever. Interesting. Okay. Look, there you go, blinded by the light. Sunshine. I guess it's not out. I guess, yeah, partly cloudy, I would say. Beautiful blue sky though. Ah, look, I can see the moon. It's like a half moon still in the sky. So I showed you the sun and the moon. Go forth and prosper. All right. Look. There. Let's go there. Okay. Oh, look how low in the water those bass boats ride these days. I'm trying to find it. I'm gonna zoom in. It's hard to spot it. They just, the edge of the boat is just right down on the water. They're coming in to load. I can't get over there in time. I would have, if I had known that, I would get over there and we could have watched them load that boat. Looks like somebody knows what they're doing. He nailed it first time. Right up on that trailer. When it's really windy and it's a crosswind, that is not as simple as it looks to hit it just right. Because if you approach that trailer like you're coming into it dead on, and by the time you get to it, you missed it. You have to be offset and account for the drift. The wind's going to show you. If you use your steering wheel to get the nose up to the trailer, you get into it sideways. It's just comes from experience how to do it. A nor'easter coming to Jeff and Calvin. Calvin's going to need to put his sweater on. KNRO hiking happens, and you are now a moderator, so that you can, you know the drill. What advantages that gives you, the things that you can do. 11:58. All right. Well, really didn't expect to be talking about Super Bowl history during my walk around the Willow Springs Marina and Resort. You just never know what's going to come up when you do a live stream, right? Just try to have fun. That's the idea. Come on, people. Yeah. Okay, here we go. It's Sunday. Much to be thankful for, people. Much to be thankful for. We all got troubles, but we have blessings too, and we need to be really thankful for those blessings. Thank you, God, for a beautiful day and for the coming times with friends, hanging out at the lake, and everything else that's been provided for us, and nature. You know, I just, when I walk around or whatever, walk through the woods or even in my backyard, it doesn't matter, and you just really think about it, about nature, all the perfection, how things sync up and how things reproduce, and just how it's just amazing. It's astounding. It's just, it's cool. Thank you, God. And I thank you for you. I thank God for you people too, for friends who are willing to come do this with me. It's a lot more fun, you know, when you can have that interaction. I so enjoy. I didn't know much about live streams not very long ago, and now I've noticed YouTube on my my start page on my feed. Most of what it shows me thumbnails are live streams. They've realized, hey, this dude likes live streams, and I go to them. I just like hanging out with the people, and it's not only the host of the live stream and seeing what they do and what they talk about. It's the other people that come in. It's like that sense of community. You know, people need to have interaction with one another. You know, it's not healthy to be alone, and sometimes they can't always be out amongst a bunch of people live and in person, and YouTube Live is a pretty good substitution for that for me a lot of times, and I appreciate you. Okay, sports card, ripping teacher, Emmy, second here, add as a moderator, standard moderator. All right, and I've learned a lot from other people's live streams and videos, the long form videos and stuff, and I just enjoy hanging out with my friends, whether I'm the host or I'm your guest. And so I'm in overtime now, and I'm gonna go tune in to the Dallas Cowboys and enjoy the rest of the day. I think I brought fishing poles with me, you know I did, and a couple of tackle boxes. So this evening I think I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get my chair out over there on that sandy beach in front of my cabin, and throw a couple of baits out into the lake, and sit down and watch Airy Bear's live stream at 5:30 Central Time. You need to adjust that for wherever you are. And if you don't know about Airy's World, he live streams Sundays at 5:30 typically, unless something's going on, and Wednesdays. And Calvin the Boston Terrierist live streams on a regular basis. He schedules them sometimes, and sometimes they're pop-ups, and he's trying to figure out why the pop-ups get more people into them and more activity. You know, it's all, YouTube is a mystery, right? So, all right. Yeah, I'm glad you did, KNRO. I appreciate you people so much, okay? And I'm gonna go Cowboys. And to tell you the truth, if your team is playing today, I hope they win. I really do hope they win, unless they're playing one of my favorite teams. Then all bets are off. Okay, have a blessed rest of your Sunday, people. Treat other people and the critters the way you want to be treated. This is Todd from Lake Texoma, and I'm out. I'll see you next time.